Happy Saturday, guys. This is a late live, but I wanted to really have this because I had a really amazing weekend. Friday, Saturday, I got to spend some quality time with Cassie Brown and Jorge Vasquez with their Impact and Influence 2-day event. And they have me on fire. So I wanted to really just highlight what I learned and really just put myself out there. All right, guys, let's get into it. Hey. All right. So I am actually going to be sharing my screen because I wanted to, one, walk you through who I am and how I serve. And I felt like the best way for me to do that was to explain to you our framework of what we do and why we do it the way we do it. All right. So let's share the screen. All right. So our company is Solasta Digital, and a lot of people always ask, Carrie, what is Solasta Digital? So I wanted to explain it. So Solasta Digital is actually a beautiful Scottish adjective that means luminous or shining. And our meaning of Solasta Digital is a movement of service to help impact-driven entrepreneurs shine their light, elevate their missions and their messages through brand clarity and visual representation. So that is what our meaning of Solasta. And I wanted to get you guys into my framework of like what we do, why we do it, and some of the fears and mistakes or myths that people have about our offer. So the people that we like to serve normally fall into about 3 different categories. So category 1 is they have brand shame or social media shame. They don't feel confident in sending people to their sites or their platforms, and their message and their visuals are a lot of times piecemeal together. So they are trying to go to graphic designers to build their brands, and they're they're using these templates, they're using all these things to build something, and they're just having shame. They don't feel confident, they don't feel comfortable putting out their messages and their missions. So they're in a place of stuck, and we don't want that. So that's where we come into place. The next one is where a lot of our clients kind of hang out is they have traction in their business, but their message is no longer in alignment with who they want to serve and how they want to serve at that really high level. I'm actually going to make my screen a little bigger. They might have like new premium offers, and they know that they need a brand that actually represents that. So they're trying to figure out a way, how can I increase my brand or make my brand a more premium feel to now actually align with my offer that I'm trying to put out. Because when you have those premium offers, you want to make sure that your brand is as solid as your offer is. The next one, these people are experts in their fields, but their brand is DIY. Like their brand is something that they created when they first started. So it has that newbie feel. So they're kind of showing up as what was it, like as amateurs, not want to say amateurs, but as novice in the field. But in all actuality, like when people actually talk to them, like they are shown, like they are experts, like they have the testimonials, they have the knowledge, but when they show up online, it doesn't fit. So they have a brand misalignment. And some of the mistakes and the myths that we see a lot is that people think if I change my colors, if I change my fonts, or if I create a new logo, I have a premium brand. And that's not the case. A lot of ones, it's like, okay, and one of the ones that we say, hey, this is important. A premium offer doesn't mean that you have a premium brand. You have to create that premium brand. You just can't launch a premium offer, $100,000 offer, $50,000 offer, $25,000 offer, $10,000 offer, and expect that what you showed up with to be the same. You have to up level yourself to be able to show up the right way to sell that offer. Next thing, if you want to play at that high level, go back to what I said. You need to show up at that high level. You have to show up like you're willing to play the game. When you're charging these higher rates, people have more expectations of you. People want to be able They want to see the perceived value. What experience are you going to create with your brand to show them that the value of what you put out is worth it? Next one, you cannot serve everybody. I know as impact driven entrepreneurs, we want to serve everybody. And when you're creating this premium brand and when you're getting super focused, and this is where a lot of our clients are, where we help, you can't serve everybody. You can create items and pieces, what I call breadcrumbs, to lead them to where they want to go. But you cannot serve everybody at the same level. You have to figure out how to serve the people at the highest level, serve them, and create an entry point or path, or we call customer journey mapping, to help get them to that step. The next thing, your mission is important and you have to get loud. We work with impact driven entrepreneurs. If you go back to what I said here, our meaning is to help impact driven entrepreneurs shine their light. We work with impact driven entrepreneurs and we understand that you guys don't like to get loud about your message sometimes. I'm an impact driven entrepreneur. I don't like to get loud about my message. This is why me doing this is so big for me, because I know that I need to keep saying it. I need to keep pushing it out there, which I'm excited about. And Cassie Jorge, thank you so much for pushing me to do this. But you have to get loud about your message. Your message and mission is so important. It can be so impactful and so life-changing and so transformational, but you have to put in the work. You have to put it out there. Fears that a lot of people have about branding is, will I get my money back? I've tried this before and it didn't work. Will I make my money back? Like, will I make my money? Is this investment worth it? This is the biggest investment that I've probably ever spent. I don't want to show up salesy. We have clients that they don't want to show up salesy. Just because you're loud about your message doesn't mean that you're salesy. You're an impact driven entrepreneur and you know it. So be that and you will be fine. All right. The outcome that we create for our clients is we help them create a premium offer that helps them increase their visibility, their credibility, and their profits in their business. We help them create frictionless, high-ticket, constant sales. We help them serve boldly and confidently and be able to spread their message and their mission. That is what we do in our business. That is what we do for other people. We help them be able to elevate themselves. We do this with our 6-step, which is our brand accelerator service. We do this with our 6-step framework. These 6 steps is what we do in our whole business. Even if you come into some of our smaller offers, you get a piece of this because we realize the importance of all of this. 1, we do it in 6 steps. 6 steps, 3 phases. So phase 1 is message clarity. You have to first understand your customer at a innate level. You have to truly understand them at an innate level. You have to be able to also from there understand them and create messaging that not only that speaks to them at their core need and desire. If you go back to what we were talking about yesterday, when we were talking about brand archetypes, this is what I mean. What is your brand positioned to talk to them at their need and their desire? And when you embody that archetype, what persona are you going to create to speak that message out to them? That is what message clarity is. What are the rational and irrational attributes that people have about you and your service? And what is your competition doing in their business right now? Yes, we want to look at competition because we want to understand what the market is looking at. And are we in alignment? Are we in disalignment? Are we throwing rocks? Are we not? What are we doing? We want to have a base. We want to have a compass to this. Next thing that we do in the message clarity is we create your client-centric mission. How do you serve people? What do you do? And if somebody asks you for an elevator pitch, can you say it, and can you say it with disdain and confidence? Next one, customer journey mapping. That is where we look at your business and we say, from when they first come into your world to your highest ticket program, what is that process like, and what booby traps that can happen or pop up that we need to make sure that we're addressing in this building of your brand. So let's say that you know that you sell, that you have sales calls. What do we need to put in place to make sure that you're not on sales calls with just anybody and everybody? We need to help you create a structured application page, an application for your services. So when people are booking calls with you, you are not wasting your time. That can become a booby trap. That's what we want to make sure. So that's why customer journey mapping is super, super important. The next one is, now that we understand your brand, we created your persona. Now we're going to take that and bring it into a visual representation. So what colors are going to match with that voice? What typographies are going to match with that voice? What essence are we going to create visually that's going to match with that match with that voice? So that's when the visual aspects come out. The next thing we're going to say is C&D, or brand identity and planning and prioritization. This is phase 2. So in phase 2, in planning and prioritization, we start asking ourselves questions of, what is the one thing that I want to focus on now first? So we prioritize the most important things. So you say, hey, I really want to build my email list because I know that I want to do something later on. Let's start positioning our content, or let's get your content mapping strategy super, super dialed in. So you can actually push out content, create your lead magnet so you can push out content so you can build your email list. That's going to be our priority. So we plan out that what's going to be our priority. Next step, now we're in phase 3. It's going to be online presence and brand amplification. So in online presence, that's when we're building your website. So your websites, your funnels, anything that you need to actually be online and actually be present in all places, that's where that is. Also in that place is where we're also going to be building your content mapping strategy to make sure that you're actually creating content that's not only positioning you as an expert, but it's also positioning you as a resource in the field. So if people are not ready to work with you now, because you're creating content, which we call the King Author Roundtable experience, people will remember that you always provide them value. So when they're ready for your service, they'll come back to you for it. So that's the next phase. Step 6, which is our final step, which is probably one of my favorite steps, is brand amplification. So this is where your website is launching, your website and your brand is launching, and it's also landing. A lot of people talk about the launch. They talk about building up the pressure and doing the launch stage and things like that, but nobody really talks about what happens next. How do you continuously keep bringing people into your system to create a flywheel effect of people showing up to you and jumping into and coming into your world over and over and over again? So that's where the amplification comes in. So that's where we figure out what's going to be your content strategy that's going to be continuous, that you're going to implement in your business all the time. What we like to also do is we like to create you a show. That can either be a show that I have right here, that can be a podcast, that can be a YouTube channel, something that you can have on a weekly basis, daily basis. A lot of our clients, they do weekly. I'm trying to do this daily thing. We'll see how it goes. But on a weekly basis where that can be the voice and the bed of your content, where your strategies and your messages, your missions and your messages and the way you think about things live. That's where that starts. From there, my team, we create repurposing content. So now you have this place where your home, your stage, or your show, and then we create a show campaign through repurposing content that creates these hooks and these really juicy pieces of content that now weaves people back to that show. That is what we call brand amplification, and that's why it's my favorite part. So we have people that work with us just for brand amplification. That is our list launch service, where we actually help them create content so they can show up as an expert, as a resource. We have people that come in and they want the full market accelerated experience. And then we have people that come in and say, hey, Carrie, I want to do a VIP day with you, and I really want to go over your message clarity and customer journey mapping. I really want to dive into your content strategy or things like that. That's what we have. But we do this because we realize when you create this system where you're not just preparing for a launch, you're preparing for continuous brand growth and brand reputation and brand presence, you're able to truly impact the lives of your customers at a deeper level. And if you also start at the beginning with truly understanding who they are, you're going to win, because your message is going to be so much stronger. Your mission is going to be so much stronger. So that is what we do. That is why we serve. If you have any questions, if you know anybody that could find value from this video, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I love talking about branding. I love talking about how to help people build their brands, create visibility, and really be able to make the biggest impact in the world. This is why we do it. And I appreciate you guys so much. This was actually pretty fun today. I know this is late, but this was actually really, really fun. And I'm super, super grateful for each and every one who actually jumped on this today and hung out with me. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow, which is Sunday. Thank you. Bye.